Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday in June. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting live from Mazatlan, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel, and we make video presentations about the joys and the fun of living in Mexico. Hold on to your seats this Saturday morning. We got a lot to cover, a lot going on. We got elections down here in Mexico. We got the peso dropping up and down. This morning we have electricity. We got 2 cameras working this morning. This is a first for a month. This going on. We got views to show you. I'm gonna show you some porno later in the video. I'm gonna show you a naked body for you naked body lovers. We're gonna show some of that. And if you're new, if this is your first time joining us for this live broadcast, we do it every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time. We welcome everyone, and this is not the Bill Dallas Lewis show. This is not the Bill the Geek show. This is your show. So if you're new here, or even if you've been here many times, ask all of the questions you would like. We can answer questions about, well, why do you live in Mexico? Why would anybody ever want to live in Mexico? What's it like living in Mexico? What about immigration? What about the cartel and finding dead people in the street? Can I buy tequila in Mexico? If you answered yes to any of those issues, then you are welcome here, and we want to hear what you have to say. We got people dropping in, leaving comments already. We got Nancy in the house. Good morning, Nancy. Great to see you here. We got Char in the house. Good morning. I think I just got an email from you the other day. Char just joined our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is up to about 232 members in the group. It's growing slowly, but I bet we hit 1,000 by next year. Oh, wow. Now the people are just flowing in. People are flowing in at 3 minutes after the hour here in Mazatlan. It is 8:04. It's 8:04 here in Mazatlan. We're California time. And I'm getting ready for my move to Morelia. I got a lot to say, a lot of planning going on here. Let's see what else is going on. Lisa Ola, new here in Dallas, thinking about the move to Mexico. And let me say it right off the bat. I've been in Mexico. Coming this February, I will have been in Mexico for 20 years. I love Mexico. It's fabulous. In Mazatlan right now, it's a sunny day. It's been cloudy for 2 days, but it gets hot this time of year. But I love living in Mexico. I've lived throughout. Moving to Morelia in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I'll be moving to Morelia. But Elisa, welcome, and we're happy that you are here. And wow, we got all kinds of people showing up now. We got Zen Maiden in the house. Hey, Bill, thinking of maybe living in Mazatlan, maybe part of the year. I love Mexico City. My boyfriend is from Mazatlan originally. Hey, everyone. Mazatlan is great. It's a great city, a lot to do here. They have international events in the winter time. They have carnival down here. But I'm telling you, Zen Maiden, don't come down here in the summertime, because right now it's getting hot. And over here in the background, you can see my big computer running. It died last year about this time. I think it was from the heat and humidity, but at that time I was leaving it on all the time. But Mazatlan is great 6 months out of the year. It's very similar to Puerto Vallarta. I lived there for 10 years. And for 6 months, you just don't go outside because it is too hot and humid. Hot and humid. And here's my main man, Rudy Clemens. And we did a video with Rudy and his wife about 1.5 years ago. And Rudy and Sheila and I are going for a seafood lunch this coming Wednesday. Can't wait to see them. They're a wonderful couple. And who else is in the house but Ms. Sam? Hola, Ms. Sam. I was thinking about you this morning, and I have your email, Ms. Sam, but I'm wondering if you can email me your phone number, because I'd like to talk with you about how you found your place in Morelia. I think I might be looking for a switch in the people that I'm working with for an apartment. But if I could give you a call, or if you could email me with the contact number of the person that helped you find a place in Morelia, or if you're living in Morelia and you're watching the show and you have a contact that could help me find, I found an apartment. The apartment is mine. I'm moving to the apartment, but I'm looking for another option closer to El Centro. So, Miss Sam, great to see you in the house. And look who's here, none other than the one and only Axel Foley. Axel Foley in the house. Hola, Axel. And the Geek Squad. I'm here to report that it's currently 63 degrees. It's a beautiful day up here in the Poconos. Woo! Woo! In the Poconos, isn't that where they made the movie Dirty Dancing? That's a great movie. Dirty Dancing, especially in that last scene when whoever that guy dancer was, and he comes out and come with, oh, woo, wow, that was a great movie. Anyway, good to see you here. She Thinks So She Speaks is in the house. Beautiful sunny day here in Charlotte. Great to see you here. SP in Kansas City. I watched the Kansas City Chiefs last night playing the the Baltimore Ravens on a rerun, and they lost. I didn't like that. Kevin Carpenter. Ola from Tallahassee, Florida. Been there many times. Tallahassee is a great city. Loved it very much. I will pray for you. No problem. Congrats on your move, Bill. What's your main reason for moving to Morelia? My main reason, it's kind of a double-header reason. I went to Morelia for the first time last August. I was man, let's rewind to 1 year ago, and specifically I remember the day. It was July the 7th, and as you guys know, I walk 5 days a week. I do 4 miles 5 days a week. It's really great for my mind. And I do it now. I leave the house here around 5 o'clock in the morning, walk an hour, get back here, do some meditation. But on July 7th last year, I went walking. I don't think I left here until like 6:30 in the morning. And I came back. I had heat exhaustion. That's how hot and humid it was. I mean, and I got in bed. I didn't get out of bed. I was like dead to the world for like 3 days. Heat exhaustion. So a month later, I went to Morelia, and let's put up a map of Morelia. And that's Zen Maiden. She says, well, what is your reason for moving to Morelia? Let's look at the map here so that everyone can see where it is. There's a Mazatlan. Let's zoom out. And you can see that Mazatlan is over here on the west coast. There's Puerto Vallarta. Now we can't see Mazatlan anymore. And Morelia is here's Puerto Vallarta over here. Here's Guadalajara. I lived in Guadalajara for a while. And here's Morelia. You can see Morelia is right in the center of Mexico, and the elevation is about 6,000 feet. So that makes it, with an elevation that high, that makes it really cool. So I was there in August last year, and I was shooting a video about Morelia, and I was walking around El Centro, and the architecture is just fabulous for blocks and blocks and blocks and beautiful plazas. And I left the hotel that morning at 7:30 in the morning to shoot videos. And I left at 7:30 with a t-shirt on, and I had to go back into the hotel to put on 2 hoodies because it was chilly outside. But by 10 o'clock in the morning, it was 72 degrees with no humidity. And later that day, what happened later that day? Let me click over here and close something out. Later that day, I went down to El Centro and sat by the plaza with like hundreds of restaurants on the open plaza. It was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There was no humidity. So why am I moving to Morelia? Well, Morelia is a really big city, about 1 million people, and they have very few expats, very few Canadians, very few Americans there. And I like that. I liked being all around Mexicans. Puerto Vallarta, lived there. They had a lot of expats. Guadalajara didn't have hardly any expats. Mazatlan has a lot of expats. The prices are going up here really high, especially for rentals. And even when you go out to eat, the prices are going up because it's all gringo prices. So I'm moving to Morelia for the climate, and I'm going to be like one of the only expats living in the city, though they do have a fair amount. And if you go to Facebook and look up, go to groups, look for expats in Morelia, you'll find many expat groups in Morelia. So that is my main reason for moving to Morelia. I can't wait to get there. And after all the places that I've lived in Mexico, that's my main reason. So here we go. Let's keep on rolling here. Val, buenos dias, Memo. They said Toronto. From Toronto, Val, great to see you in the house. Wave that flag. We have Liston Henry. In the house. Let's see who else. We have Anthony in the house. Good morning, Bill Dallas Lewis. I can't wait for your move and feedback. I can't wait to get out of California. My second wife is from Palos Verdes in the Los Angeles area. My sister lives in Marina del Rey. Somebody asked me also. Somebody asked me this week, they left a comment and they said, well, why are you moving to Morelia? And, they asked me like, they asked me, what do you think about Guadalajara? And I told them Guadalajara is kind of like Los Angeles, and Los Angeles Los Angeles, of course, is a world-class city. Los Angeles has everything. But it's so spread out and so much traffic. And my ex, she had relatives that lived all over town. Like she had 2 sets of grandparents living there, a brother, a sister. And every time we went to visit somebody with the traffic, it would take like an hour to get anywhere you wanted to go. And Guadalajara is kind of like that. So whatever, I'm kind of babbling here. So let's get back to questions and answer. Oh, you are extremely welcome again. I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting from live in Mazatlan, Mexico on the West Coast. And again, we're always happy to be here and ask any questions. Hola, Bill. This is David is my new neighbor in Morelia. I can't wait to see you and your lovely wife, Maria. Said Maiden, the heat. Yep, we have heat. We have high temps in Mexico City too lately. 88 today and has been 90s too. But I bet it's a dry heat. Here in Mazatlan, it's humid. I walk to the little store to get my supplies for the day, get some fresh avocado, get some fresh tomatoes, get some fish, a freshly killed chicken to eat on that. And I just walk 3 or 4 blocks in a t-shirt. I come back, I've got to change my t-shirt. So let's keep on rolling here. Again, if you are new here and you have any questions or you want to share any ideas about Mexico, this is the place to be. Steve in Kansas City, have you considered buying a home? Not renting. What are the mortgage rates there? Do you buy homes and the banks do the deal directly? I'm not. I have no desire to own a home. I owned 2 homes in the United States, and I have no desire to own a home. I like having about 2 or 3 suitcases of stuff. So when stuff goes down in whatever country I'm in, I grab my 2 or 3 suitcases and I leave. And I'm gone, man. I'm not packing up no couches. You know, I got to sell the place before the revolution comes and takes my house. You know, I'm not doing any of that. I'm done doing that. Now, also, the banks financing a home down here kind of sort of doesn't exist. It does exist, but the interest rates are extremely high and it's rare. I'm going to say it's like 99% of homes. You come to Mexico, you see a home, you see a condo, and people own it. That means that they paid cash for it. I don't know where Mexicans come up with all this cash, but you want to own a home in Mexico, people pay cash. So it's not like in the United States. In the houses that I owned, I would pay, the mortgage rate every month and all that kind of. They don't do that in Mexico. You want to buy a nice house and it's going to cost like, $200,000. You got to have cash. But anyway, I have no desire to own a home in Mexico. Ms. Sam, I joined the group. My handle's name is Sammy. I'm always undercover since I am such. Well, good for you, girl. You just stay undercover. Helen, great to see you here. Helen, I think we're going to switch cameras. We have a camera that's causing some problems here. So let me go over here. I'm going to click this button. Stop extra camera. Okay, so you're gone. Then let's come in here and add extra camera. And we're going to go to this camera. Oh, there we go. I don't like this camera as much because it doesn't have a nice view, but I can see messages better from here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, yeah, there we go. Let's see. Yeah, I like this camera better because I can look at messages directly and look into the camera. And look who's here. None other than Dominique Trammell. Buenos dias, Bill and everyone. Rochelle, look who's here. Rochelle, she's a long timer. She was probably like my 5th subscriber ever. Welcome to the group again. And Helen, I take that back. 74 degrees. 74 degrees. Let's see. Oh, okay, 74 degrees. That's warm. Okay, Billy, I got you. Yeah, Miss Sam, I really need to talk with you on the phone. Hawkins, happy Saturday to you, Hawkins, and my homegirl in Columbus, Ohio, Ms. Matthews. Buenos dias, Axel Foley. Mexico has a new president. What's her angle in regards to immigration? Do you foresee any residency changes? I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait. Her name is Claudia, and let's talk about that. Last Sunday, Mexico had an election. They elected Claudia. Some people say she's a little too far to the left. Some people say she's a communist. I don't know. I don't follow Mexico politics. I just know she won. One thing I can say is that the peso dropped drastically this week. And because I check out the peso regularly so I can see how much I'm going to pay in rent. That's the first stat I look at in the morning. What is the value of the peso? And I checked out the peso this morning, and the value of the peso this morning is lower than it's been in a year. It's down to like 18.41 this morning. And that drops my rent here. That drops my rent here about $75 a month. But my neighbor Pam, she told me like 10 days ago that the peso was going to drop once they had the election. And she was and she was totally right. And so now I was going to pay $500 a month in Morelia. That brings my rent down to like $477 a month. I can live with that. And as far Axel Foley, as far as residency changes, I don't see residency changes coming. Kevin Carpenter, what are you talking about? I'm currently watching the temperatures in Rosarito and Baja. Is there anything you can tell me about northern Baja, San Diego weather with Mexican affordability? I haven't been. I have not stepped foot on the peninsula. I have friends that live in La Paz. I've done an interview with a woman named Verlaine that lives in La Paz. She says it's hot on the southern peninsula. It's hot and humid as hell. In the northern peninsula, I don't know anything. All I can say is I don't know anything. I was going to go to the peninsula and drive down the total peninsula, but I found it was just a bit too pricey to make that trip. Andy, buenos dias, Bill. Que tal? They say Bakersfield, California, out in God's country. I've been to Bakersfield. I was there. I was in Bakersfield one time for 4th of July. If you want to go to Bakersfield, go on 4th of July. It's a big party in their river. Elisa, that weather sounds wonderful. Does it snow? Even better if it does. Now, I did a video on Durango, which is northeast of Mazatlan, about 3.5 hours. And Durango is a fabulous place. They've shot a bunch of Western movies there. I did a couple of videos on Durango. I could live in Durango. And I was there in a February, and it was 30 degrees at night, but 72 in the daytime, and it does snow in the wintertime. Wonderful climate. Hi, got you. Sounds like Morelia is a nice place. Temps have risen a lot. I think I see AC. I see AC here in Mexico's. I need AC here in Mexico City, but it's not as humid as the beach. Seriously, change of temps. I have the air conditioning on now. I mean, I haven't turned the air conditioning on like all year until about 3 weeks ago, but I have to sleep with it on. I have to sleep with it on all night. When I lived in Guadalajara, Ajijic, Chapala, nobody has air conditioning in Ajijic, Guadalajara, Chapala, because there's no humidity. Nobody needs air conditioning. And it might be 95 degrees in the daytime, but as long as you're in your house, the weather is great. Ellen J. Moreno, Linda here. I lived in Morelia. Oh, many expats. Okay, very good. Not as many as here in Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta. I tell you, girl, I was there. Oh, and Ellen J. Moreno, if you can connect me with a realtor that can help me find a place in Morelia, I have a place all lined up. The guy is all ready for me to come, but I'm looking for other options. And now I was going to pay $500 a month, but I'm looking to pay 8,000 pesos, which would be about $400 a month. And I'm changing my arrangements from 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms to 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and maybe living in a studio. Zen Maiden. Okay. Here's Zen Maiden. Leaving California is the best decision ever. I am from LA. LA is so expensive and has turned into a trash pit. Even nice areas, high crime, very high crime. LA is a trip. My second wife, I was with her for 10 years. She's from Palos Verdes. I mean, Palos Verdes is a fabulous community. She lived right down the street from David Benoit, the guy who wrote the theme song to the Charlie Brown Christmas special. But I mean, wow, LA is just too big. You can be in Compton in 1 minute, be in Palos Verdes the next minute. I don't think so. And expensive. I don't think so. Ms. Sam, expats, banking in Mexico, Morelia is great and convenient. I transfer my rent online to my landlord directly to my landlord's bank very easily. The bank's executives are very careful. Yeah, Ms. Sam, I've been paying my rent, and I just paid my last month's rent to my landlord this week. That's the last time I'm going to be paying her. I have a fabulous landlord. She is the best. Her name is Gabby, and she lives in Durango. She's got to be a very wealthy woman. Owns this condo down here, and then the prices in my building, they're just, these people. Everybody in this building has 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, but the prices, these people are paying like $1,300 a month for. I mean, that's like LA prices. I mean, no, I don't think so. And look who's here, none other than Jamie Ola from Canada. He's trying to get his life together. Talk to him this week. We got Elisa. Thanks, Ms. Sam. Good to know. Ray Garcia. Cash is king in Mexico. I just got out of a car crash with a city bus. Only with cash was I able to. Ooh, well, God bless you, Ray Garcia, and I hope you're okay with a city bus. I got stories to tell about that, and we got Katrina the Maker in the house. Miss Sam, when you move here, we're going to think you're going to think you died and went to heaven. I can't wait to see that happen. Can't wait. And we got Jacqueline in the house. Buenos dias y todos. For you people that don't speak Spanish, that means good day, everybody. And Bill, too. Woo-hoo. Okay. Well, let's get right down. Let's get right down to the porno. Sure, I got porno. Everybody got some porno. But I got a little porno to share with you. Hold on to your seats. Last week, I showed you guys a picture of my dad there graduating from college. My mom on the right, Peggy, and Dad's mom, Cornetta. I showed you pictures of my family at my other grandmother's house in Mount Vernon, Ohio. I'm down there at the bottom of the steps with my big afro. But I had to show you this picture. My sister lives in Marina Del Rey. That's in Los Angeles. My sister keeps sending me pictures. So this week, here's the picture she sent me of me naked. Here you go. That's me, Bill the Geek, before he even knew HTML or CSS or JavaScript or Photoshop. That's before they had Zoom. Yes, there we go, right there. And I knew that everybody would like to see Bill the Geek naked. There he is, right there. No teeth, no teethuses. And here is Bill the Geek on the left, my dad in the middle with my sister. And I believe that we're sitting on the Olentangy River bank in Columbus, Ohio. I thought you guys would get a kick out of that, so I put it up. Yeah, I'm showing it. I'm showing it. Okay, so let's see what's going on over here. Okay. Alisa, do most expats choose not to drive in Mexico? That's a very good question. Let me say this. I lived in Puerto Vallarta for 5 years and never drove a car. I was rarely in an automobile, even if it be a bus or a taxi, and I didn't miss it at all. Then for 10 years, I had a car. I had a car here and in Guadalajara. And now I got rid of my car. And for me, I'm so happy not to have a car because I can walk everywhere. I know where all the little shops are and walking around with my regular walk. And then when I leave here, I'll walk to go pick up my laundry. I'll stop at a vegetable shop, a little fish shop, and things like that. But I'm so happy not to have a car because cars are just like payments waiting to happen. You have to change tires, change the oil. What if somebody hits your car? And let me think. I know many millionaire expats. Off the top of my head, I can think of 3 millionaire expats that own multiple properties here in Mazatlan, and none of them have cars. They can afford to have a car. They can afford to have 5 cars. Now, on the other hand, my landlord in Puerto Vallarta, Mike, he lived downstairs. I lived upstairs from him and Charlie, and he had a car. He drove everywhere, but he had like a bunch of physical conditions. But he was in his car all the time. He knew he was fat. And if he was here watching right now, I'd say, Mike, you're fat. And he'd laugh. Then he'd give me some rude response. But he knew where every restaurant in Puerto Vallarta was. And right now, he's probably 78 years old. One of the most active people I've ever met. And he drove his car every day. But let me think. I want to think. I'm going to say that most expats that I know in Mexico do not have cars. And I don't think I'll ever have a car if I go up to like 3 million subscribers on YouTube, 3 million subscribers, and I'm bringing in like $300,000 a year from YouTube, then maybe I'll get a car. Maybe I'll get a car. But I don't want a car. What a pain in the butt. No. Let's see what's happening down here. What up over here? We got Bible, riddles, and trivia. What would you say about the safety of driving to Morelia from Texas? I've driven to the United States 2 times. One time I drove here from Washington, D.C. to Puerto Vallarta. And one time I drove from, where was that? From Ohio to Puerto Vallarta. And I'm going to summarize this the best I can. Okay, so I drove here for the first time 15 years ago, and that's before they had all the technology for your cell phone where you just put in an address and then your cell phone tells you where to go. So, but I'm saying is how the safety here. Here's what you do. It's no problem. The paid roads, they call them the Costa. Autopista, that's like the freeway. Autopista is freeway, and Autopista Costa is the one that you pay for. So you're going to be paying for toll roads like every 30 miles, every hour and a half. You spitting out some toll money. But the roads are fabulous, and some of the views that you're going to get, you're going to drive through some mountains that are just fabulous. You can only go about 40 miles an hour because you're twisting and turning and looking at these beautiful mountains. Totally safe. Somebody left a message one time that said that, well, they had big potholes in the road. I've never experienced that. They take really good care of their toll roads. And the first time I was coming down here, I was driving a Lexus. I was doing 110, 120 miles an hour. I mean, it was just fabulous. So my rule of thumb on driving safety is only drive in the daytime. I only drive when the sun is up. So I'll leave wherever I am at 7:30 in the morning. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm done. I go to a place and get some food, maybe a 6-pack, go to the hotel, go to bed early, and do it again. So what I would do if I were you was plan ahead. And if you can drive for 7 hours at a time, look at your trip, look at your map, see what the big cities are. I've said this many times on the paid roads in Mexico, the freeways, they don't have signs like in the United States. Like every stop in the United States, they have 3 signs. The first sign before the exit, the first sign will say Burger King 1 mile, McDonald's 2 miles, Pizza Hut half a mile, White Castle, cheap. No White Castle here. Okay, then the next sign will give you a list of hotels, and the next sign will give you gas stations you can stop at. Okay, well, they don't have that in Mexico. You'll rarely see a sign that even tells you that this exit goes to this city. Yeah, you just see it. It's an exit. You don't even know where it goes. So look at your map. See how far you can drive in a day. find a major city, find a hotel for that city. All you have to do is know the name of the hotel. Now, a big tip, what I did was there's a hotel chain that I would stay at. I'd find the city, find the address for that hotel chain, get off the exit where that city was. Then I would find a taxi driver and give them the address for that hotel. And I would tell them, okay, I'm going to follow you to this hotel. That way you don't have to worry about finding the hotel. Let the taxi driver find the hotel. So I'm saying that driving through Mexico is fabulous in the daytime. Do not drive through Mexico at nighttime, because that's when weird stuff happens, and they get animals on the road, cows, goats, horses in the middle of the night. You can't see them. Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, so there you go. Ray Garcia, what he got to say? What he got to say? 108 in Wire, North Chihuahua today. 108. Ray, is that humid or is it dry? But yeah. I don't like humidity at all. Alicia, interesting. Richard, what's your opinion about some expats complaining about Banda Munich being played on the beach? Well, Richard, let me say this. Let me say this. Let me say this. I'm not a fan of banda music or mariachi music, but it's only because of construction. When I was living in Chapala, they were building houses all around the house I was living in. And the construction workers would get there at 8 o'clock in the morning. They'd get there, and they could buy those speakers, really loud speakers, for $45 at Walmart, bring them in and plug them in. And they would play banda for like 10 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I listened to that for 3 years. I heard so much banda. It's like, I love Madonna. If they had played Madonna every day, 10 hours a day for 3 years, 6 days a week, I would hate Madonna. I would see a picture of Madonna, I would throw up. Okay? But now let me step that back a bit. We're in Mexico. Banda is very popular. I mean, it's Mexico. This is Mexico. So on a day-to-day basis, I'm going to leave this house. I'm going to walk by shops. They're playing banda. Cars are going by playing mariachi really loud. It's Mexico. And I'm learning to like it now that it's not in my face every day. But no, I mean, it's Mexico. Now, I do not like it when in the last couple of weeks, some of my neighbors have had parties and they have banda bands that, this morning they had a banda band playing till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, come on, man, cut people some slack. We don't, I don't want to hear it at 4 o'clock in the morning, but it's Mexico. I just put on YouTube. I got speakers in my bedroom, put on some ocean wave YouTube with music in the background. I'm good to go. But it's Mexico. Respect Mexico, and don't be the ugly American. Don't be the ugly American. Appreciate the music. There you go, Richard. That's what I have to say on that. Good morning, Bill. Brian, pretty boy Maiden in the house. Yeah, Brian, I hope your friends find their suitcase. Brian sent me on a special mission this week. And I got my end of the deal done, trying to find some friends. He had some friends down here that lost their bag. At first, I thought his mission would be a pain in the butt. My friends were staying at this hotel. They left their bag there. Can you go check it out? I'm thinking, oh, shit, man. who knows where this hotel was. And ends up that the hotel was like 2 blocks from my apartment. I said, cool, man. Go over there, talk to the people. And no, they didn't have the bag. But Brian, great to see you in the house as always. Axel Foley. Bill, you've been asking for it the last 3 years. Beverly. Oh, no doubt. Oh, no, really? Beverly Hill Cops 4. I got to see that. I'll buy that and download that. Axel Foley, I'm so happy. I got to see me some Beverly Hill. I've seen every episode, and I know that the first Beverly Hills Cops, I think I've seen that about 50 times. Thank you, Axel Foley, and I hope you did a really good job making that movie. Elisa, is one really handicapped if they are not fluent in Spanish in Morelia, since there are fewer expats that you mentioned? I just wondered if that is a problem. I don't think so. Elisa, I'm going to call you Elisa. I hope I'm saying that right. When I came down to there's one. I'm going to say you can take Spanish classes. Like I started taking Spanish classes when I was in 7th grade, and I took Spanish classes through high school. Then I took Spanish classes in college, like 1. But until you actually are in a place and you have to depend on speaking it and listening to it, a lot of those Spanish classes are a waste of freaking time. So when I got to Puerto Vallarta, pretty much I didn't know any Spanish. And you can read it out of a book and memorize some words, but until you can hear it and speak it and be able to listen to it, that's a totally different story. So I wouldn't worry about Alyssa. I don't think you'll be handicapped at all. Come down and be open to learning some Spanish, but learn how to say stuff like bread, milk, where is and then learn Spanish on a what do you say? As you need it. Learn it as you need it. Learn money, like how do you say 5 pesos? How do you say 50 pesos? What is 100 pesos? What's 500 pesos? What's 1,000 pesos? Figure out how to ask. How much is this? How much is that? Things like that. Or learn how to say, how do you say this? ¿Cómo se dice este? ¿Cómo se dice este? How do you say this? Learn how to say hello and goodbye and what is this and what is that? And you will be fine, and you will meet, Alicia, many Mexicans that know Spanish. Every Mexican, I don't care. I'm going to say this, and some Mexicans might say, no, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. But every Mexican knows some English. All Mexicans know some English. And if you walk around any city in Mexico, when I leave the house today and go pick up my laundry, I'm going to see at least 3 people with New York Yankee hats, and they're all Mexicans. I'm going to see 2 people with T-shirts that say the Gap. They're going to be Mexicans. I'm going to see another 2 Mexicans with Old Navy T-shirts. And until a couple of years ago, when any Mexican went to the movies, they were watching the movies in English with Spanish subtitles. So once you get out there and you start meeting Mexican people and you need some help, then they will speak with you in English a little bit because they will know a little bit. You'll start learning a little bit of Spanish and you'll be good to go. Dude, do not, it is not a handicap. And I have here in my notes one of the real joys of living in Mexico is you don't understand anybody. You're just walking around on the streets. People are talking. You don't know what they're saying. Buses are going by with all the advertising. You don't know what the advertising says. You're going to see big billboards with advertising and words in Spanish. You don't know what it is. You're listening to music. You don't understand any of the words. You're just like walking around in a bubble. That's really actually very cleansing for your mind because you just stop paying attention. I mean, if you're walking around any country and you know the language, especially the United States, you're walking around in the United States and you know what all the words are. You know where all the advertising is. Oh, buy this toothpaste, buy this deodorant, buy a new car. After you buy the new car, get another new car, buy a house. Buy this, contribute to this campaign. It's everywhere if you know the language in any country. But when you're walking around down here and you don't know the language, it's a blessing, I tell you. And what does Virginia have to say? Hello, Billy from New York. Virginia's been visiting us every Saturday when we go live for many years now, Virginia. And she's thinking of coming down here. You come on down, girl. Elisa, great photo. Thank you. Rochelle, such a cutie pie. Before I go further here, I've got one more picture that my sister sent. And this one is from first grade. That's me in kindergarten. That's in London, Ohio. London, Ohio is about 30 miles from Columbus, Ohio. There I am in kindergarten. Yes. Yeah, that's the last picture of me that you're going to see for a while, I think. I don't even remember kindergarten. I don't remember my kindergarten teacher. I don't remember any of those kids at all. Whatever. But there you go. Little Billy, 5 years old in elementary school. And I didn't speak any Spanish back then. Let's get back to comments. Let's see what's going on back with comments. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Thank you, you guys. Zen Maiden. Such great photos. And doing what I do, I've got a bunch of videos and photos, but whatever now. Michelle, hi, Bill. I am interested to visit Morelia in August or September. Oh, let me think. What month is this? This June. Okay. You talk highly of Morelia. I'm looking forward to meet you. Maybe we can meet for lunch. Cool. Yeah. We can hook up. I prefer breakfast than lunch. Much more. I usually do breakfast with everyone, but most definitely, just send me an email when you get there, and we'll get together for breakfast. I had breakfast in Morelia at the main plaza. Fabulous breakfast. The plaza, they have it seemed like 100 restaurants. It's probably really only about 20 or 30, but fabulous weather, fabulous food. There you go. Okay, now we have good morning, Lenora. Great to see you in the house. And if you're new here, ask any questions. This is all about the joys of living in Mexico. There are no stupid questions. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. Wonderful. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dominique. Thank you, Dominique. Okay, let's see what's going on now. Char Williams. Thank you, girl. Have a safe, uneventful move to Morelia. Thank you for contributing to the channel. And thanks for all those birthday contributions I had last week. Thank you so much. But thank you so much for contributing to the channel. That's how I pay my rent. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Char. Ms. Sam, I have lived in Morelia for about 3 months and never saw a gringo. Ha ha. I walk to El Centro every day since I am so happy to be around Mexicans. Yeah, Mexicans are just so friendly. And it's so safe. It's so safe here. It's unbelievable. I've been here almost 20 years now. And I used to tell my friends, I'd say, oh, you got to move down here, move down here. I gave up. I don't tell any American to move down here anymore. It's living in Mexico with Mexicans is an unbelievable experience that it's unexplainable. It's awesome. And then being from Ohio and having lived in New Hampshire with cold weather, it's just being out and about in Mexico. It's unbelievable. It's cleansing. It's a totally cleansing experience everywhere you go. Brian Maiden. Bill showing that picture of naked Bill. Now the ladies are going to come for you. Right on. Bring the ladies on. Yeah, sure. I'm single. Single. Ooh. Okay, David. Driving. Oh, now that's funny too. Driving in Mexico is a little different than the U.S. Yes, it is. In Mexico, when I first had a car in Mexico, one lady I knew in Puerto Vallarta from Canada, she says, watch your mirrors. That's all I can tell you. Watch you. So you always have to know where you are and what cars are around you and what are the other people doing. I'm going to say in Mexico, Mexicans drive like insects, like bees and ants, and they kind of look around, see what's going on. They just kind of adapt to what's going on. Then they have roundabouts down here, and you have driving in. Oh, and then people will park their cars anywhere they want. Like you'll be in a city, and all of a sudden, somebody just parks their car right in the middle of the street. I mean, and they just stop. They just stop, get out of the car. They might go to the grocery store. They just stop in the middle of the street. You have to always be aware. And Alisa, thank you so much. Alisa, thank you so much for joining us. And thanks for contributing to the channel. And show up and ask all the questions that you want. Once I get to Morelia, I'll be doing a lot more travel. And I'd like to introduce people to other places that you might want to live in Mexico. But thanks for showing up. Thank you for contributing to the channel. I did put up 2 videos this week. One video is about my 20 years of experience of renting places in Mexico. And the second video was about your general cost of living for living in places in Mexico. Stuff like what utilities you're going to pay, gas, electric, the difference between gas in Mexico and gas in the United States. What's your cell phone bill is going to be, cable TV. So I just put that up, and then somebody left a message for me like 4 days ago about, oh, did you know? I get the narco emails and comments every week. Well, but you can't move to Mexico because of the narcos. Or somebody contacted me this week. They said, oh, you can't move to Mexico because there are 500 Americans missing in Mexico. There's such ignorance. They're throughout time, there's nothing new under the sun. There have always been uninformed people sharing their misinformation with other people just because they are too lazy to inform themselves. I'm informed, and I'm still a news junkie. I'm holding off on being political. But man, that stuff that's going on in the United States, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to say hardly anything about it, but they're stopping. They want to stop selling like birth control pills. They're going to make that illegal. Next, you won't be able to buy condoms. Next, you won't be able to masturbate anymore. They'll have cameras in your bedroom. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. So why am I talking about that? I don't know. I just went off. But I'm old. I'm senile. Now I'm 68. I had a brain. That was a brain fart. So let me get back to comments over here. Ola from South Texas. Why Morelia versus Guanajuato? Lisa de Jesus. Thank you very much. I'll tell you right off the bat, Lisa de Jesus. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. I want to know. I love Guanajuato, and I think that I would prefer to live in Guanajuato, and I would prefer to live in El Centro in Guanajuato above Morelia. But Guanajuato is a little bit more expensive than Morelia. It's not. I don't think that Guanajuato is as expensive as Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan. But I did my checking and comparison of rentals between Morelia and Guanajuato, and Morelia is overall a bit more inexpensive than Guanajuato. I love Guanajuato. And again, if I get up to like 3 million subscribers on YouTube and I can afford to pay like $5,000 a month for a great apartment in El Centro on the plaza in Guanajuato, then I'm moving to Guanajuato. Plus, Lisa de Jesus, I'm 68. Yeah, I walk 4 miles 5 days a week. I can get around. I have almost no body fat. But Guanajuato, man, you got to be able to walk some steps if you live in Guanajuato. If you're not living in El Centro and you got to get up and down you're going to be walking up and down some steps. I love it. Morelia it has some slow ups and downs, but Guanajuato, you got to be physically fit to live in Guanajuato. I love Guanajuato. That's way much higher on my list, way over Puerto Vallarta, way over Mazatlan. Guanajuato, in Black people terms, Guanajuato is the bomb. Yeah. Brian Maiden, thank you, Brian Maiden, for contributing to the channel. Yes. Thank you for contributing to my travel fund. That is greatly appreciated so much. Elisa, I'm considering driving to where I end up in Mexico also. Then we'll probably sell the car. I would rethink that. I would sell your car now. I'd sell your car now, then move to Mexico, because selling your car down here is kind of weird. And I think you get a better dollar unless you're bringing a bunch of stuff, which I would reconsider also. And I don't think you're going to get as much for your car down here as you would where you are now, because you don't know the ropes on how to sell a car down here. So think that through very well. And also, if you're considering coming down here, really reconsider what you're going to bring with you. If you can come down here with maybe a laptop and a couple of suitcases or one suitcase, and then when you get down here, buy all the stuff. Like I'm moving to Morelia. I'm going to give away about 10 hoodies. I'm going to give away a bunch of tube socks, some of my kitchen utensils and bowls that I bought. I'm leaving them here. Anything in my closet that I have not worn. I've been here 2 years. Anything that I've not worn in 2 years is getting donated to the church. So I'm leaving here. I'll have two clothes. I'll have two suitcases with music equipment and clothing, and one suitcase with lighting, tripods, that kind of stuff. Then I'll have a little take my desktop computer. But come down here, and then when I get to Morelia, then I'm going to go to a tianguis, and let me show you. Let me take a little break here from messages just for a second. But when I get to Morelia, I'm gonna go. Oh, come on now. Oh, here we go. Come on. I know I got it. Come on. No, that's not it. I'm going to go to the street market, and they call these tianguis. I'm going to go to one of these places. This is a tianguis in Chapala. Every Monday, and look, 10 pesos. All the clothes on that table were 10 pesos. That's $1. 30 pesos. That's $1.50. 10 pesos. 40 pesos. Everything on that table is 40 pesos. That's $2. Over there, all the clothes on that table is 50 pesos. That's $2.50. And that's where I got all of my hoodies. All my hoodies came from the tianguis. So one of the first things I'm going to do when I get to Morelia is find a tianguis, and I'm going to go get some hoodies. And that's about it. I just bought all brand new socks and underwear from Walmart. That was very inexpensive. So bring the less you bring down here, the better off you are. Okay. I got to find, here we go, right there. David, if you have never driven in Mexico, I don't recommend that you just jump in your car and start driving around. You might need to give it a little time. Oh, and David's being very kind with that advice, but it is true, man. You need to just be down here and look around. The streets don't have street names most of the time. Many streets are one way, but they don't have signs that say this is a one-way street, or it's hard to tell if it's a one-way street. Oh, then you have to deal with the police. So, whatever. Thank you, David, very much. Doug P., I never drive the toll roads in Mexico. They are too expensive, boring, and everyone drives too fast. And Doug P., he's talking about the difference between the paid freeways versus the free freeways. And the free freeways are very interesting because you actually drive through towns. You can stop and get stuff to eat. You can see animals, like you might see a herd of 200 goats going down the road, right off the side of the road. And, it is a lot more interesting. You can stop and get stuff to eat, and you don't pay tolls. Toll prices are shocking. If you're going to drive down here from the United States, and it's going to be like a 2-day, 3-day trip of driving 7 hours a day, get about 10,000 pesos before you leave the United States. You can go to your bank, say, hey, I want 10,000 pesos. You might have to wait a day or two to get to 10,000 pesos, and then have that 10,000 pesos in the passenger side and just get ready to pay, because it's crazy. I bet you will pay. I might have to take this back, but I bet that you will pay more money in tolls than maybe in gas. And yes, Brian Maiden advertising. Hit the like button. We have 80 people in the house. 80 people in the house. 37 likes. We have people contributing to the channel. Thank you, Brian Maiden, for the advertising and for contributing to the channel. Kim J, what happened to you? I've been missing your live events, Bill. Kim J, we were supposed to do an interview. You disappeared on me, girl. What's up? We can still do that. Great to see you. We haven't seen you in several months. Miss you, girl. Elisa, thanks, Dave, for the warning. I'm also 65 driving from Dallas. I may need to realize those wild days are over. Yeah. If you can, Elisa, fly down with one big suitcase of stuff and get rid of all that stuff that you do not need. Okay, now what's going on? Doug P., when you live in Mexico, you need to become a Mexican or go home. Yeah, just come. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug. Yeah, just chill out. Just chill out. Go with the flow. Mexico is really loving. Just accept what you see and enjoy. Mexico is fabulous. Also, I've been paying attention. I have a couple of homeless guys in my neighborhood. One homeless guy lives, it's funny. I'm going to take a video of where he lives. Maybe I'll show that next week. But he lives off the side of the road and he sleeps there. And I mean, all his stuff is there. But he walks around the neighborhood. Some people give him money. I saw him yesterday at 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven on the main drag has a really nice place outside, a round table with an umbrella. It's a big round table, really comfortable iron chairs. And I saw this homeless guy there yesterday sitting under the umbrella, and somebody had gone into 7-Eleven and bought him a couple of pre-prepared sandwiches and a Coca-Cola. And the guy just gave it to the guy. Another guy who's homeless, I see him every morning when I walk. He's out there at 5:30, 5:45 in the morning in front of the taco stand I showed you guys last week. And he's out there 5:30, 5:45, and people at the taco stand, the people that go there regularly, are buying him breakfast. One day I saw him, and right next to the taco stand, there's a tall office complex, maybe 10 stories tall, new. And I saw a lady handing him some tennis shoes, like Oh, you need some like tennis shoes? Hey, here's some tennis shoes. I mean, um, uh, now I can't say that they treat homeless people like that throughout Mexico, but Mexico is very freaking cool. Very freaking cool. Humphrey, MG, Ola Humphrey, MG in the house. Verlaine, good morning, Verlaine. We were just talking about you. Verlaine is over in La Paz. Brian, such a good movie. Have seen them all. I think he's talking about Axel Foley and Beverly Hills Cop. And Axel Foley, who joins us every week, is in the movie. Yes. Elisa, thanks. It's Allison. Oh, okay. Allison, though, call my anything but late for dinner. Or call me anything but late for dinner. I hear you on that. And we have Hawkins commenting, looking forward to the newest Beverly Hills Cop movie. I can't wait to see it. I can speak it to a degree, just not fluent. Now, that's good. With your Spanish, if you can speak it to a degree, I tell you, I'm not fluent. And I don't know how many times I've said it. Oh, but my first time in Mexico, I was on an exchange program. So I lived with a family in San Luis Potosi for 9 weeks. And part of it was a college program. So we went to San Miguel Allende for the running of the bulls. I don't even know if they do that anymore. Oh, okay. So I'm at the running of the bulls, and the bulls run. And there was some American guy running from the bulls with me, and he had a I Love Virginia t-shirt on. So we ran from the bulls. He says, hey, you want to come to dinner with us? I said, sure. So him and his wife, we went to dinner. And it was a very wealthy group of white people. And these white people, they were talking about, oh, yeah, well, we got in our plane and flew across the ocean. And then we jumped out. We had our scuba gear ready. We jumped out of the airplane. Then we went down and we swam with the whales and the dolphins. I mean, I was freaked out. I was like 19. I was like, what people? I didn't even know people had that kind of money, right? So ended up that the guy's wife, the guy that loved Virginia, his wife was a linguist and specialized in Spanish in Mexico. And she told me in their apartment that in Mexico, there are 360 dialects of Spanish. So you can speak Spanish very well, but I bet that your Spanish speaking ability probably only covers about 15 dialects of Spanish. So you can speak really good in those 15 dialects, but then you get to dialect number 150 and you're not going to understand diddly squat. I'm going to tell you, it's going to happen. But if you can speak just some and understand some, that is a great beginning. Lisa de Jesus. Besides taking lessons in Mexico, watch kids' TV shows and kids' book and get paper novellas. That is an excellent tip. And I say it is an excellent tip because then you get to listen to it. The more you listen to Spanish, the more you learn. And I tell you what, I've been down here for years. It was like I'd been here for like 8 years, and I was so used to just like walking down the street, people talking Spanish. I didn't understand anything anybody was saying. I'm walking down the street. I just got used to it. It's almost like you live in Mexico and you know that you don't know anybody. Then one day somebody calls your name from across the street. That happened to me. Bill, from across the street. I'm like, What? Somebody's called my name. It's like nobody knows me. I'm in Mexico. Nobody knows me here. But okay. So after not understanding any Spanish pretty much for about 8 years, one day I was walking down the street and people were talking and I was understanding what they were saying. It was freaky. But yeah, watch TV, listen to Mexican music on the radio or on YouTube. Find some music that you like. And Mexican music is very diverse. It's not just mariachi or banda. They have a lot of funk. They have, I'm going to say, they have a ton of funk in Mexico. It's like soul music, but all the language is Mexican. Spanish, I'm sorry. And it is funky, and Mexicans can dance. So if you like funk and funk love songs, find you a funk love song in Spanish, and then go to Google and get the lyrics for it. There's that cell phone app. I think it's called, and help me. I think it's called Yazoo. Is it called Yazoo? But if you hear music, you open this app and click a button, and it will tell you who the artist is, what is the name of the song. It's a very good app. I think it's called Wazoo. Find this music that you love. If you like Frank Sinatra, they love Frank Sinatra down here. But it's like My Way. I've heard My Way by Frank Sinatra in Spanish so many times. And but pick a song like that and play the heck out of it. Go to Google and get the lyrics in Spanish. What a great way to learn Spanish. And Lisa de Jesus, thank you so much for that big tip. Also, besides taking Spanish lessons in Mexico, watch TV shows and read paper novellas. Start with children's level comprehension. There you go, Lisa Jesus. And I am going to beat a dead horse here. Lisa de Jesus, I am going to beat a dead horse. But once you can speak some Spanish, then life becomes brand new down here. I'm going to leave here today. How many places? And I'm going to go pick up my laundry. Who's going to be there? The owner, Alejandra, and her assistant, who is also her daughter-in-law that's divorced from her son, Luisa. And they call me Mamo. So when I pick up my bag of clothes, there's going to be a piece of paper on the side of the back of my clothing, and it says Mamo. So, and they say, oh, that's Mamo. Mamo, how you doing? Da-da-da. We're going to speak Spanish, probably 15 minutes. I'm going to kiss them both on the way in, kiss them both on the way out. Then I'm going to go pick up, I want to pick up some tomatoes and some avocado. I got to walk about 3 blocks for that. I'm going into this vegetable market. I'm speak Spanish in there. Then I might stop at Oxo, get a 12-pack of beer, and I know the people that work there. Oliver, I'm going to talk to Oliver. He's Mexican. We'll speak in Spanish. And then I know all my neighbors on the way there and all the way back. Hola. These are all Mexican. Oh, hey, once you start understanding Spanish, it just opens up a whole brand new way of life. Zen Maiden. I would recommend to learn the basic questions like Bill said. What is this? And that people will help you out, and learn to ask for help. Ayúdame. Find something in a store or at a bank. Yeah. Ayúdame. ¿Dónde está este? Where is this? ¿Dónde está este? ¿Qué es este? Learn to ask questions. Also, Let me see if I can do this. Well, I can't do that, but on my refrigerator, when I meet anybody new, I have pieces of paper over on my refrigerator. So if I meet new people, I write their name on my refrigerator door. Alejandra, Luisa, Oliver. Oliver's. Oh, and Oliver works with Elba. Elba, I have both of their names on my refrigerator door. If I learn new Spanish words, I write those on the refrigerator door. Elba, Oliver, yeah. And when I learn new words, I write those on the refrigerator door. Yeah, you got to work at it, but it's worth it. Zen Maiden 1. Many Mexicans tell me they use lyrics from songs to learn English. Zen Maiden, I had a dentist in Puerto Vallarta. She was wealthy. She was younger than me. She's like 30 years younger than me. She was asking me out. She was traveling the world. She was just a little too big for me, okay? But she was good looking. She was my dentist. And she said she learned a lot of English, Houston, through Whitney Houston. She said, I learned, and she spoke fluent English. She said, I learned all my English from Whitney Houston. then she told me that was a lie, but she said she learned a lot of English from Whitney Houston. Okay, Burn, what's up, Burn? Was building my house in Morelia. Got a crash course on building supply words. Oh, that's funny. And Morelia is on the west coast. I think that's south of Puerto Vallarta. It's a great place, Morelia. I love Morelia. And that's another thing about Spanish. My cousin that lives in Ajijic, she says that you will learn given what you have to know. So if you're going to the dentist and you have a pain in your mouth, then you need to go to Google and do a search. Google Translate. Google will do it all. And you can type in pain. You can type in tooth or teeth. Teeth hurt. This one tooth hurt bad. This tooth fell out. And you look that crap up. Or if you're going to go buy some building supplies, or if you need a light bulb, you're going to need something at Walmart. A couple of months ago, I learned how to say ropa interno. That means underwear. Underwear. Who would have thought ropa interno? Okay, so I asked the lady, I go into Walmart to buy some underwear, so I just pulled my jeans down some and pulled some underwear up so she could see it. I pointed at it and I said, how do you say this? She said, that's ropa interno. Okay, so now I know how to say that. Or you may want something, and maybe you're too lazy to go to Google Translate. So maybe you want a screwdriver, maybe you want a light bulb. And what you do is you just take a picture of it on your phone, save the picture, and you go to Walmart and you show them a picture. Donde está este? It's a screwdriver. What's a screw? How, you will learn and help yourself learn. And thank you, Burn, a crash course on building supply words. You learn as you go. David, hey, man. There's something to be said about being fat, dumb, and happy. Right on, David. Right on, my man. You go with what you got. Fat, dumb, and happy. Okay. Jacqueline, thank you so much for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much in Guadalajara. And, hey, you have to make it over to Morelia one day, but thank you so much. We have 74 people in the house. We have 46 likes. I didn't say that all of our we have electricity today. We have 2 computers running today. Our internet is good. Our cameras are working. And for those of you that have been joining us for a while, our audio is good today. When everything is working, woohoo! It's a good day in Mexico for sure. Timmy, I saw your donated fund to MT Stream. Midas Touch. Great. Yeah. I watched. And for those of you who really want to inform yourselves, and I'm not going down politics road, but I've been a Midas Touch. Midas Touch is a great information source for politics in the United States, because especially with all of the court cases, because they actually show you court documents and explain to them what they mean. It's not biased at all. It's just, here are the facts. Here are the facts. Here are the facts. I mean, from court documents, and they have attorneys, non-biased attorneys. But anyway, yeah. But I've seen so much Midas Touch, and I used to watch it every day. So much is going on in the United States. It's woo. I just got to. I'm going to stay informed. I got to stay informed, and I do want to talk about staying informed. And this is not from a political standpoint, but when I was growing up, my family, we'd have dinner together every night at the round kitchen table, and we would we all had to use, we had bread plates and salad forks and regular forks and a soup spoon every day. That's, and then every at 6 o'clock together, we would all watch the ABC nightly news. I was informed, and I was a geek kid. So I'd go to the bookstore. I had a job when I was in 6th grade. I would buy books. I would buy information books about what's going on with the government and all that kind of, I was a reader. So I was one of the few informed 6th graders in my school. All the other kids were just uninformed. And I carried that with me through my life. I remember I worked for a major corporation, and I'd have to drive like an hour to get to the main office. So I'd leave my house at 5 o'clock in the morning, get to the city at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd go to the grocery store, and I would pick up a New York Times and a Wall Street Journal, and then go to McDonald's and get some pancakes and some eggs and some coffee and read the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times. Because if I stay informed, then ignorance can't F with me. If I'm informed, ignorance can't F with me, because there's a lot of ignorant people out there just living on ignorance. And so if I stay informed, it's like doing this to the ignorant. I don't have to say anything to them. I just know that they're just uninformed. They can't help it. They're just uninformed. They're not stupid. They're just uninformed. Okay, so I'm going to shut up. Ms. Sam, you are the cutest of them all. Thank you, Ms. Sam. That's a great compliment. I do want to share a special story, something that happened this week. Okay, so I think this is like Wednesday of this week. It's like 5:30 in the morning. I go out. I get it like 2 or 3 blocks from my apartment, and it's a kind of a big boulevard, but nobody's there. It's just me, and then there's this white lady walking down the street. I'd never seen her before. And we're both walking the same direction, and she was attractive. She had shorts on, little backpack, looked a little confused. So she was on one side of the boulevard. I'm on the other side of the boulevard. We're going in the same direction. She was on the boulevard on the side I usually walk on, but I got as far away as her as I could because I didn't want her to be scared of me. And then I walked faster than her so I would get ahead of her. So I'd be a far away and ahead of her so she would have no fear of me. So I'm far away. I'm about 10 yards away. I'm ahead of her. And she starts talking to me in Spanish. And she says, hey there. And da-da-da. So I got closer to her. She said, do you know where this hotel is? Well, it ends up we were only a block away. She was looking for this hotel called Angels. And she's talking to me in Spanish. I said, do you speak English? She said, yeah. And then we started speaking English together. And I was going to tell her where the hotel was, but the hotel was only like a block away. So I said, oh, just come with me. I'll take you there. So we were walking to the hotel, and this lady's name is Shay. And I said, what is your name? I'm Bill. So ends up, she had just sailed her sailboat from the peninsula by herself to Mazatlan. That had to take a day, a sailboat. A regular boat, a barge takes like 12 hours. So she had just docked her boat in the Mazatlan Marina. I walk by there every day. And she's having a bunch of repairs done to it and all that kind of stuff. And really nice lady. So the next day I was walking, and same time, 5:30 in the morning, she stopped me. She was coming out of her hotel. She says, Bill, I was hoping I would see you. And she gave me her card. She says, I'm an author. I write books. I'll be here until Tuesday. You'll meet Mexicans, but you come to a different country. You meet foreigners everywhere in the world, or people from the same country. There are wonderful people living all over the world. Life is just a joy. Okay, Dominique. What healthcare is most common among expats in Mexico? Oh, that's a very good question. Many Mexicans and Canadians, they use healthcare in the United States. There are a lot of retirees in the United States, so they have Medicare. So I know a guy right now. I know him and his wife very well. They live in my building. Oh, Linda and O. And O is for O'Reilly. I've been to dinner with them before. He has some medical thing going on. So that many Americans just go back to the United States for healthcare. They'll go up there and spend a few days, go to the hospital, get taken care of, then they'll come back. My cousin in Ajijic, her brother lives in New Jersey. She's going there like next month. She's going to get her eyes checked. She has Medicare. She'll go do that, and then she'll come back. I'm going to lunch this week with Rudy and Sheila. Rudy, he's had a heart thing going on. He'll go to they just got back from Arizona. He'll go up there and get checked. Canadians have very good health care. A lot of Canadians will disappear, go up to Canada. So a lot of people just go back and forth. Your general health care here, I just had a tooth extracted. I'm going to have a dental implant. That cost me, to go to the dentist for your dentist stuff is very inexpensive. I just pay out of pocket for my dentist. And for years I was paying like $2,000 a year for health care in Mexico. So it's all over. I've read on some websites where you can pay $5,000 a year to get health insurance in Mexico. Then you can go to really good places. So it's all over the map. But if you're 65 and you have uh, uh, Medicare, well, then you can go back to the United States. But I'm going to say for most of your pharmaceuticals to go get a checkup at the hospital, a checkup where they do all your x-rays. And this is the price is going to be so ridiculous that you can just pay out of pocket. You know, if you have a cold, you need some injections, you just pay for that out of pocket. Not that big of a deal. Unless you have a heart attack, okay, or something really serious, then paying out of pocket is just have the cash. That's it. Allison, the Mexican people are so wonderful. The women who have helped me clean my house have always been my best friends. Hands, yellow heart, hands. Oh, okay. I see. I can see that. I can't see it over there, but I can see it over there. And I had a maid for 2 months in Ajijic. This lady was great. I don't know what kind of dialect of Spanish that she spoke, but I understood everything that she said in Spanish. And we would have a great time when she would come. She was a great lady. Hawkins, thanks for sharing pictures of you and your family. My pleasure. My pleasure. Happy to do it. What about dating in Mexico? I'm single. Yeah, you can date in Mexico. I've met a lot of women. I met a ton of women in Mexico. Dating is not a problem. You have to just make yourself available, use Facebook groups, join groups so that you can meet people, maybe go to church. I don't go to church, but go to church and join some church groups. Maybe meet some single women like that, or join. There are expats that are in many, like I'm thinking stray dog clubs. They have stray dog clubs, and they go to the animal shelter and they do things for stray dogs and cats and get them neutered. There are lots of groups. Make yourself available, get on Facebook groups, introduce yourself, start a Facebook group. But dating is, I know one of my good friends, she's a millionaire. She dates all the time. I mean, it's here and it's available. Watch your back. Just, don't let anybody into your bank account, and just do it with caution. And I've met a ton of women down here from all over the world. Yep. Liz. Hi, Bill. This is Liz from Chicago, the Windy City. What do you got to say, Liz? What are you talking about? I just got my 3-year temporary residency. Thanks so much for interviewing Alvaro Sanchez about immigration and giving his contact info. You're a big help. Yeah, Alvaro, if you go, you're very welcome, Liz. Glad to be of service. That's why I do. It's one of the pleasures. It's one of the joys of living in Mexico, helping people. Alvaro is great. He has helped many of our people in our group here on the Bill Dallas Lewis get visas. He's in Guadalajara. That's where his office is. But he goes to Ajijic once a week. And if you want to find Alvaro, he speaks fluent English. He's very good at immigration. He's gotten me like 3 visas, 2 2-year visas and a permanent visa. But if you go to billthegeek.org, click on FAQs, and you will find Alvaro's, all of his contact information. Scroll down and you'll see something that I'm looking at the wrong camera. I thought I was talking to this camera. You'll see my immigration attorney, Alvaro, and I don't make any money. I don't make any money off of any information that I'm giving you right now. But he does a great job. He's helped many people out. Allison, yeah, thanks. I'm just starting this process. I'm looking for a situation off the coast, as you are higher elevation like you. So done with the Dallas heat. And, I'm sorry. And I don't want to say it too much, but I was in Puerto Vallarta, and that was new to me, being near the ocean, being able to see the ocean. I was there for 10 years, moved to Guadalajara. I thought I would miss the ocean. I didn't miss the ocean at all. And the weather was inland. This dry heat. I love living inland. You can sleep at night, walk around in the daytime in the summer. Yeah, you're very welcome. Get out of that heat. If it's hot and humid, say goodbye. Thanks so much, everyone. Have to leave, but see you next Saturday. Great group of folks. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for clicking that like button, and thank you for donating to the channel. And look who's here, none other than Crapple Productions. That's Dr. John. Late check-in, quick hello, Bill, and everyone. Always great to see you here. Axel Foley, adios, everyone. People are bailing out. Axel, thank you so much. Going to the cinema with my daughter to see Ride or Die with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence. I got to see that myself. I love their movies. What was their first one? Bad Boys. I've seen Bad Boys like 100 times. Woo, and Ken Art. Ola Ken Art, thanks for showing up. And once again, thank you for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much. Thank you guys just for showing up, for contributing to the channel, for clicking the like button, or just sharing information with one another. Thank you so much. Char, I have, I have a 2012 Lexus that's just shy of 100K. She is a great car, and I wish I could take her to Mexico, but my daughter is to be blessed with her. I'm paring down every day. I had a Lexus. It was 20 years old, but my Lexus was made in Japan, so that made it illegal to own in Mexico, and they can just take your car. That's it. There was no way. Once I got a permanent visa, then all of a sudden I couldn't get license plates for the Lexus. I had to get rid of it. I loved that Lexus. It was a mofo. Loved it. I remember squatters all over GDL setting up ramshackle huts on vacant lots. Very common sight. Yeah, man. Homeless people in Mexico, they'll live anywhere, anywhere they can. All they need is a plastic bag, and that's a house. Kim J, thanks for the great content as always. I'll email you. Please do. Kim J, and thank you for contributing to the channel. Thank you so much. Shazam. Timmy, thank you. Yeah. I guess I'm here in my bubble, living in my bubble, and I'm Bill the Geek, so I guess I'm supposed to know stuff, but a lot of stuff I don't know. But yeah, the music app called Shazam, you put it on your phone, you turn it on, you put it next to some music and it gives you the name of the song and the artist. And we were talking about learning Spanish. There are some really, I love funk. I like funky music, soulful music, and Mexico has all of that in Spanish. So if you hear something you like and it's in Spanish, get Shazam, find out the artist, go to YouTube, get the lyrics, and listen to that listen to that song a lot in Spanish, read to lyrics, and learn some Spanish. I learned how to ask the price of an item in Mexico, how much? Sí. And there are numerous ways to say anything. ¿Cuántos pesos? ¿Cuánto cuesta? ¿Cuántos pesos por este? Very good. Very good. How much? ¿Cuántos pesos? ¿Cuántos pesos for este? Very good. Good for you. Malaki is so beautiful. Some people don't like Malaki. I totally enjoyed Malaki. It was fabulous, but it was hot and humid, but it was very inexpensive. I met a couple of Canadians living there. They had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. They were paying $400 a month. They were so happy. They looked like they were on drugs. And they weren't on drugs. They were just really happy. Steve in Kansas City. Are you a Mexican citizen? Can you live a full year as a visitor? How about? Okay. I have what they call a permanent visa. So I can live here forever. I'm done getting I don't need any paperwork forever. I'm good. But I am not a Mexican citizen. I would have to get a passport. Well, I'd have to take the citizenship test. Then I'd be able to vote and stuff like that. I don't see any reason to do that. I'm just good with my permanent visa. I don't need any more paperwork from Mexico for the rest of my life. Now, somebody asked me something like this a couple of weeks ago. How do you live there year round? Well, unless you have a 1-year visa, a 2-year visa, a 3-year visa, or a 4-year visa, or a permanent visa, then you can get deported. So what you can do is you can come down, you automatically get a 180-day visa. And then when your 180 days are up, leave the country for a day and come back the next day and just do that. And I know people that have lived down here for like 30 years doing that. I know a guy, he's British. Yeah, he's from Great Britain. He's lived in Mexico for 30 years, but he owns property in the state of Washington in the United States. So once a year, he gets in his Jaguar, drags back to the state of Washington, drives right back, and he's been doing that for 30 years. But I did that for about 5 years, and it gets to be a pain in the butt, and then sometimes you forget to do it, and that causes problems, so whatever. Buck stops here, present for the Bill Dallas Lewis live stream. Glad to catch the show. Hola, familia. Buck stops here. Great to see you here. Bill, Jacqueline, Bill, is there a water shortage in Morelia? And Miss Sam or Dave tells us from what nobody has told me about a water shortage in Morelia. Is there a water shortage in Guadalajara? I've only heard about water shortages in Mexico City and in Puerto Vallarta. Also, Mexico City is sinking, they say. They say it's sinking 20 inches a year, but it's built on a swamp. What did people think? You got 30 million people living on a swamp. Stephen, Kansas City, how long is a visa good for? Aren't you required to return to the U.S. on occasion to keep your visa? Well, it's pretty apparent. For a tourist visa is 180 days. That's it. And then you have to leave and come back. If you have a 1-year visa, then you have to go through that paperwork again and get the 2-year visa. Then a year later, you have to go to get the 3-year. Then now my cousin, or you can just go straight to a permanent visa. But each visa has different solvency situations, meaning you have to have so much money shown as income or in the bank. So my cousin went from nowhere, having never even been to Mexico before, and she was living in Montana, worked with Alvaro, my attorney, and she got a permanent visa. So she came into Mexico with a permanent visa. So kind of, sort of, that's how it works. Nice haircut, Bill. I'm a retired barber and can't help but notice. Yeah, I cut my own hair this morning right before the show. Jacqueline, shout out to attorney Alvaro for helping me get a 4-year temp visa. Affordable. Alvaro is very good at what he does. He's very good. I'm glad he could help you out. Hawkins. And shout out Jacqueline. Congratulations. Hello. In elementary school, 1960, we were required to read the evening newspaper and pick. Oh, how cool is that, Anne? People staying informed. Yes, congratulations. People congratulate. Today is a good day to take your pesos out. Peso went down, yes. And as I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, the peso is at its lowest value in the last year. Good day to go to the money machine and take some money out. Hola, mis amigos. Hola to you, earthly color brown. Bill, if you go to a private hospital, it will cost a lot. If you are a Canadian, x-rays, blood work cost me a fortune for having this done. Yeah, it's really tough, man. You got to shop. You got to shop for your hospitals down here. Congratulations. Yay, Hawkins. And those visas, when you get them, they feel so good. They feel so good. Mamo, what about Kia Soul 2016 Toyota Camry? Can they check out the serial number? Check out the serial number, the PIN number of your card, and run that PIN number in Mexico. If your car was made in Japan, you cannot get a permanent visa and get it nationalized in Mexico. Thank you, Robert. Hola, Robert. Ooh, Robert just became a member. Right on. And all of you can go and you can become a member. I just started. Thank you so much. Thank you, Robert. I just started the membership thing about 2 months ago, and I'm still trying to understand how that works myself right now. And right now, thanks, Robert, for becoming a member. My YouTube channel is going to evolve a lot with this move to Morelia. Right now, I'm just trying to get everything done before I make the move, and then start my new life. And it'll also be like starting my new YouTube channel. But it's going to be the same Bill Dallas Lewis broadcasting, not live from Mexico, but I'm going to evolve because I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, making more trips, seeing different places, working on the website more, work on the Facebook group more. I may be doing more live broadcasts. I may go live on Saturday in the morning, and then on a weekday, I might go live around 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I have to learn. I might start a Patreon page. I don't know. So I'm learning, and we are evolving here. Okay. Miss Sam, I have not heard. Oh, thank you. I have never experienced a water shortage here. Thank you very much. She is in Morelia. Bill, I just became a permanent resident. Cool. They kept me waiting from 7 a.m. No more immigration offices for me. Yeah, man, it feels really good to get your permanent visa. Buck stops here. I am 1 year temporary visa is expiring in January. I might need to hit up your guy. Yeah, check the spelling. Yeah, Buck stop here is go to billthegeek.org, not .com. Go to billthegeek.org and billthegeek.org and click on FAQs and you will get hooked up. Okay, you guys, we got 60 people in the house with 57 likes. And thank you guys for, oh yeah, and congratulations, Timmy. Thanks you guys for joining us, the family, today. We have 3 more weeks of broadcasts coming from Mazatlan. Then I'm headed to Morelia. I'm out of here. So I'm getting ready. I want to thank everybody for coming and joining us and sharing the joys of Lola's bow. I'm always late. Well, rather late than never great to see you here. But I'm getting ready to head down to pick up my laundry. It's been fun as always. Thanks for showing up, everyone. Thank the universe for electricity, computers, cameras, and everything, all getting all hooked up today. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm out of here. Love you all so much. And my content, give me 3 weeks. I got 3 more weeks of these broadcasts in Mazatlan, but I think my content is going to be greatly enhanced after my second week in Morelia. I'll be able to share a lot more about the joys of living in Mexico when I get to Morelia and get on the road again. Bear with me for these next 3 weeks in Mazatlan, and then I'll make my move and we will make the show grow. All right, you guys, I'm Bill the Geek. This is the Bill broadcasting live from Mazatlan, Mexico. This is the Bill Dallas Lewis channel. We make videos about the joys of living in Mexico. Thank you all. Love you all. Adios. Hasta luego. And que te vaya bien.